guys, I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Andrew.
And you're listening to Culips. If you want to learn English for everyday use, you've come to the right place. At Culips, we help make English understandable. By listening to our podcast, you can learn natural expressions and conversational structure. If you're interested in learning more about Culips and what we do, check us out on Facebook or our website, culips.com. That's Culips.com. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy this episode. Today's episode is a real talk episode. And in real talk episodes, we focus on practical expressions that you can use every day in real life situations. In today's episode, we look at how to order lunch.
Very important situation. Everybody's got to eat. You need to know how to order lunch, right?
Yeah.
And so when you order lunch, you will encounter two different types of situations, I think. You might go to a fast food restaurant or maybe a food truck or a deli, somewhere where you will order at the counter. But if you go to more of a traditional sit-down restaurant, you're going to order from a server. So for this episode, we're going to take a look at how to order lunch at the counter of a fast food restaurant. We'll listen to a dialogue and then take it apart piece by piece and examine the key expressions you can use when you order lunch at the counter of a restaurant or a deli or a food truck even. In the next episode, we'll learn how to order lunch at a sit-down restaurant. So keep your eyes peeled for that episode. It'll be out really soon.
Sounds delicious.
So our first situation is ordering at a fast food restaurant. And we've designed this dialogue around Tim Hortons. And Tim Hortons is probably Canada's most famous fast food restaurant. Love it or hate it. If you visit Canada, you're going to end up at a Tim Hortons at some point. Right, Suzanne?
Absolutely. And I think we call a Tim Hortons coffee a Timmy's, right?
Yeah, Timmy Ho's.
And they have coffee and donuts and sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches, soups, some salads, I think.
Yeah, hopefully some salads.
Maybe they've reached salad status.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very popular in Canada.
Right. It's one of the only restaurants that's open 24 hours a day. So if you're hungry at night, you'll probably go there. But also for lunch, it's a popular lunch destination. So let's listen to our first dialogue, ordering lunch at Tim Hortons.
I can help the next person over here.
Hi. Could I have the ham and Swiss combo, please?
Sure. What do you want to drink?
A coffee with cream.
One or two?
Just one.
And your donut?
I guess I'll have an apple fritter, please.
For here?
Yep.
That's $6.79.
Okay, on debit?
Go ahead.
Great, thanks.
I can help the next person over here.
All right, we just heard a dialogue where a customer ordered his lunch at a Tim Hortons restaurant. And so now Suzanne and I will go through the dialogue and explain some of the key expressions used. The first expression that we heard was the cashier saying, "I can help the next person over here."
Yeah, and that means that she's ready for whoever is in line next to come over to her side of the counter.
Good. Okay, so what is expression number 2, Suzanne?
So the next expression, the cashier asks, 1 or 2?
The customer orders a coffee, and then the cashier asks 1 or 2. What does this mean, 1 or 2?
Well, the customer asked for a coffee with cream, and the cashier is confirming with the customer whether they want 1 or 2 servings of cream or little tiny cups of cream that they pass to you over the counter.
Exactly. And so I always order my coffee with cream, and I always tell the cashier, "Oh, just a coffee with cream." And they always ask me this question, 1 or 2. And really, I don't care. I just want them to put some cream in it.
They do the same thing with sugar.
Yeah, exactly. If you said, "I want a coffee with sugar," they would say, "How many?"
Yeah. And I wonder if you said 3, that they would give you a death stare. What?
Good question. I have a feeling that that is a pretty normal order, that a lot of people at Tim Hortons would get 3 sugars. So 1 or 2 can refer to the amount of creams or sugars that you get for your coffee. The next expression is for here.
Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
She wants to know if the customer will be eating in the restaurant or if he will take it to go, if he will leave and go eat somewhere else.
Okay. For here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard some cashiers ask, for here or to go?
Exactly. So
Right.
it'll be for here or to go.
Now, the next expression, on debit.
Hmm.
After the cashier tells the customer how much money the total would be, the customer says on debit. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah. So this is a bit more of an advanced expression because in Canada, a lot of people pay with their debit card, right? They use their debit
Yeah.
card when they pay for something at a restaurant, at a store. Canada loves debit cards. So when we pay with our debit card, we can just tell the cashier that we will be paying on debit.
Okay. And the next expression, the cashier then replies, go ahead.
So the way that we make a debit payment is to use our card with a debit machine. So when the cashier says go ahead, it means that she has prepared the debit machine and that the customer can then use the machine to make the payment. And there's different ways we can do this. We can tap our card sometimes, or other times we have to actually insert our card into the debit machine and type in our PIN number. But yeah, what the cashier is saying is just that it's okay, go ahead, use the debit machine.
Yeah.
And I think the same would be true if you were paying with credit card, right? You could say,
Right.
oh, I'll pay on credit. And then the cashier, again, needs to prepare a machine and she will tell you, go ahead, and you can make your payment.
It's very interesting because I think for me, I say on debit and then I say with Visa, not on Visa or like not on credit. I say with Visa or with credit.
Would you say with debit?
Sometimes I say with debit. Yeah.
I think both ways sound perfectly acceptable to me. You could say on Visa, on my Visa, it would be okay. Or with my Visa, with my debit. Yep, you're right. So
Yeah.
on or with Both prepositions work for this situation.
Good to know.
Yeah. And now, if you were visiting Canada and you found yourself at Tim Hortons and you're ordering lunch, do you tip? Would you leave a tip for the cashier? Or in this situation, can you just not tip?
I think in this case, you can not tip. But I think, for example, if the cashier went the extra mile or did something for me that was out of her daily routine, maybe they were out of my donut and she knew they were making new apple fritters in the back, and she went back and said, "One moment, I'll be right back. I think they have a fresh batch of apple fritters just out of the oven." So if she gave me special care and treatment as a customer, I might dip into my wallet and pull out a loonie and give her $1. But a lot of places don't take tips at chain restaurants. At a food truck or a cafe that you order at the counter, it's more typical to leave the change from your cash if you pay with cash. Maybe you have 50 cents or 60 cents left over, and you might leave that change in the jar.
The best way to determine if you're supposed to leave a tip or not at a restaurant where you order at the counter is just to see, do they have a tip jar on the counter? If you see the tip jar, then you know it's probably polite just to leave a little bit of money, throw your spare change into the tip jar, and the staff will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, Suzanne, today in our Real Talk episode, we looked at how to order lunch in a fast food restaurant where you order at a counter.
Yes, you can always ask questions if you don't understand something or have a question about the menu or a food item.
Absolutely. So we want to thank everybody for listening. We really appreciate it. And we would love to hear from you. What do you think of our new Real Talk series? Do you like this type of episode? Is there any feedback that you have for us? Please visit our website, culips.com, or our Facebook page at facebook.com/culipspodcast and let us know.
And maybe you can comment on our Facebook page and let us know any interesting interactions you may have had with a cashier or a waiter when ordering lunch.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear your funny stories. I'm sure there are many of them out there.
Yeah.
We're going to give you another opportunity to listen to today's dialogue, so stay tuned. It's coming up in just a moment. But as for us, we're signing off. So thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. I can help the next person over here.
Hi. Could I have the ham and Swiss combo, please?
Sure. What do you want to drink?
A coffee with cream.
1 or 2?
Just 1.
And your donut?
I guess I'll have an apple fritter, please.
For here?
Yep.
That's $6.79.
Okay, on debit?
Go ahead.
Great, thanks.
I can help the next person over here.